Hey, I'm Jason Christie. This is the last cast. I'm here with Get Limit Outdoors, and I want to share something that you've probably not seen. I spend a lot of time fishing in the wintertime. I spend a lot of time in a deer stand. And there's days that I look forward to going fishing when the highs are 30, 35, and it's hard to stay warm out there. I see a lot of guys, they get cold, and there's some guys that, you know, they have their own style of dressing and it works for them, but I'm going to show you what works for me. And this is not expensive clothing. This is actually probably, other than the rain suit, probably kind of average. And I kind of have a system, because the worst thing for me, I would rather get cold than I would get hot, and that's just me personally. But I don't like getting hot. So if it's like 30 and below, I go with this. And if it's in the 40s, going to get up in the 50s, you know, I do away with the base layer. But what I start with, I'm talking about really cold fishing, like yesterday. I fished out there yesterday, daylight till dark, and the high was 32. The low was 30. I mean, it was just a cold day, and those days I can stand if the wind's not blowing. But yesterday it was blowing. It was actually pretty cold, but I was able to fish all day. I wasn't toasty hot, but I was able to fish all day. You know, I start with just a base layer. This is just like a, I don't know, I guess just a thermal, but you know, I'd say average quality thermal. That's what I put on first. And then, you know, just a pair of socks. I use cotton most of the time. If it's really, really cold, I'll use wool. But on top of that base layer, I'll just go a pair of sweatpants and a sweatshirt. If the wind's blowing really, really hard, this sounds weird, but between the sweatshirt and the base layer, I'll go like a long sleeve t-shirt like this. There's just something about it, kind of holds that heat in from that base layer. Okay, I got that in. I got the base layer and my sweatsuit. So I think this part here is what keeps me warm. Now, this part here is what blocks me from the elements. You know, back in the day, we'd go fishing and we'd have just we'd have that on, but we'd have a pair of just regular bibs and some kind of zip up coat, and I kind of got cold a lot. And I've learned over the years that you can't, in the wintertime, there's nothing better than a good rain suit. It just blocks the wind, and if you can block the wind with this, you're going to stay warm. So, you know, here's just it's a heavy duty rain suit, but you know, just a nice big coat and bibs there. And that's all I wear. I mean, like when I fished the Classic last year and we were taking off in 16, 17 degrees and fishing all day, that's what I had on. Now, that keeps me warm. You know, the shoes are kind of, I'm a tennis shoe kind of guy. 30 and below, I wear these. I've had those forever, but they keep my feet warm and they keep them dry. You know, it's not that you're out there fishing in the rain, but you know, you're out there fishing, the wind gets blowing, and you want to fish the wind like I do, and you take a wave over the front, your feet get wet, you're done. So I tend to wear, when it's really cold, I wear boots, waterproof, just to keep my feet dry. If it's in the 40s, I go tennis shoes. All right, you know, you kind of got your running, and then you got your fishing. For running, you know, I use heavy gloves, just like most of us do. I use a face mask and then a motorcycle helmet. I can't show you the motorcycle helmet because for some reason I can't find mine, and I got a new one on order, but I use the face mask, and of course sock hat's essential. These three things right here probably keep me warm, probably are the difference between me fishing 4 hours and 8 hours. For a long time I couldn't fish with gloves on, and my fingers would literally split, you know, from swelling up and things like that. Well, with the new gloves now, you can see the holes in them. I fish with gloves on in the wintertime. It doesn't matter if it's 40 or 20. It just feels good, and they're light enough that I can feel the bites, but they knock the wind off. And these gloves, even if my hands are a little bit wet, they're still warmer than they are without. The wind really gets to blowing. You know, that rain suit there, I can zip up tight, but there's still some air that gets through. I don't know what this is called, but I just I put my hood up on my sweatshirt and I slide that over to where it's there, and all you can see is my eyes or my sunglasses, and that keeps me warm. Now, all-time secret, and I don't think I've ever seen anybody wear this. I've had this for 20 years, and I wear it anytime it's really cold, and I think this keeps me really warm. I actually got one for deer hunting too, but this is just a neck gaiter. I believe a lot of times, you know, your heat rises, you lose a lot of it through the opening in your rain jacket. Well, this just, and the good thing about this is I'm out there fishing, it's 15 degrees, and it warms up. I can literally grab it in my rain suit, pull it out, and throw it in the rod locker. But it just slides over, and it just insulates around your neck there, and it keeps you warm, and it actually comes up below your jaw, so it keeps all of that protected. But that's pretty much my wintertime setup, and I've had it the same for 8 or 10 years. And I think anything above 20 degrees, I feel comfortable going fishing. So that's why you see me on the lake a lot in the wintertime. But I hope this helps. I'm Jason Christie. This is the last cast with Get a Limit Outdoors.
Get a Limit Outdoors, sponsored by Rigid Industries LED lighting, Seagar, always the best, Legend Boats, Scentlock, Hills Marine, Muddy Outdoors, Brothers in Arms Game Calls, Lowrance, Find, Navigate, Dominate,